Taiwan has elected its new president. His name is Lai Ching-Te. People also know him as William Lai. For the last 4 years, he was the island's vice president, and now he has ascended to presidency, keeping the Democratic Progressive Party in power. Upon him lies the fate of Taiwan, at least for the next few years. So who is this man? What is his story? How did he rise to power from poverty? Let's just go back in time. The year was 1959. Lai was born in a rural coastal town of WION Lai. Both his parents worked in a coal mine. The income was meager, but there were 6 kids to feed, and the youngest of them was Lai. He was all of 3 months when a tragedy happened. His father, Lai Ching-Te, was working in the mine. He was some 300 feet underground. Suddenly, gas leaked out of the pit. There was no odor, there was no sound. The explosion came out of nowhere. Lai's father did not survive. His mother was left alone with the kids, and she raised all 6 of them on her own. She continued to work. She recharged the bulky batteries that powered the lamps on the miners' helmets. She operated the cables that pulled out the carts of coal. The poor woman had one goal: to keep her children in school. Lai also did his part. He excelled in school, and unlike most miners' children, he went on to study in a university. He became a doctor, also received a master's degree from Harvard. Things were looking up for him. But Taiwan was in turmoil. The island was slowly transitioning from dictatorship to democracy. Naturally, China was not happy. It was the year 1996. Taiwan was going to have its first free presidential election. But just ahead of the polls, the dragon fired missiles into the waters of the island's coast. Lai was a fresh-faced doctor at a university hospital at that time. For him, the missile crisis was a turning point. He hung up his white coat and decided to enter politics. First, he became a legislator representing the Tainan city, not just once, but for 4 consecutive terms. It was during this time that he was beaten up by gangsters, and out of concern, his mother asked him to go back to being a doctor. But Lai was not going to give up. He resisted. And a few years later, he lost his mother as well. But life went on. From legislator, he became a mayor, and then the Prime Minister of Taiwan. In the year 2020, incumbent President Tsai Ing-wen chose Lai as the Vice President. And on Saturday, people of Taiwan chose him as their president. And with that, he has broken the 8-year curse of Taiwan politics. The popular term basically highlights the fact that until Lai's victory, no political party had stayed on in power for more than 2 terms. The president-elect will formally take office in the month of May, and the next 4 months are expected to be difficult for Taiwan, to say the least, because China does not like Lai at all. It sees him as a separatist, in fact. It has repeatedly suggested that Lai will be the one bringing war to Taiwan. Until the very last moment, Beijing was trying to talk Taiwanese voters out of electing Lai, but clearly it did not succeed. And so now it is issuing warnings. China has threatened punishment for any moves towards independence. You see, a few years ago, Lai called himself a worker for Taiwanese independence. And now this worker is in power. What comes next is the question.